for all those that don't know, I'm Matthew Hamburger, and we're about to embark on a posture police class. So the whole concept of posture police is to bridge the benefits and wisdom of yoga and the science of physical therapy into a pain-relieving corrective exercise class. So it's awesome to improve our mobility, our functional balance, real balance, everything that you could think of, the benefits of yoga and physical therapy. We try to make the best of both. If there's ever a time that you have a question or anything, I'll be looking at the screen. You can give me a wave and it'll get my attention. Or on the other side, you can always put a little note in the chat box and I'll always get notified about that. So to prepare everyone, if this is your first time, you have nothing to be afraid of, but I know everyone knows that you need a chair, and if you had like a broomstick or something like that, that makes it a little bit more optimal for how I designed the exercises, but a chair would be perfect. I like to say that there's 3 P's in a posture police class that you really want to consider. The first P is pain. Pain is what many of us are here to either avoid or prevent. And pain is something that if you have bad posture for a long enough time, pain will come. So pain is the bad sensation. We want to avoid pain at all costs. So if you feel any pain doing any of these exercises, respect that limit. And actually, I realized Michelle just reminded me, let's all come to a stand. Let's come feet shoulder width apart. And we're just going to do some hip wiggles. So yeah, I hope you guys are not too close together, but we're just doing some hip wiggles where we want to feel the movement in our hips. The next thing we want to focus on is noticing the sensations other than pain that we experience. We experience ache, soreness, stretch, tightness, and cramping in this class. Those are the good sensations. So oftentimes we lump those into hurt. So the ache, the soreness, the stretch, the tightness, the cramping. We're like, oh, that hurts. And then we don't push any further. The way these exercises are designed, even when we're doing these hip wiggles, feel the tightness in your hips just by doing this. Welcome, Evelyn. So doing these hip wiggles, we're going to feel that tightness. Maybe you feel some soreness. Maybe you feel some aching in the lower back. It's all normal. Awesome. The second P is perception. We're going to move on to just lifting our knees high, kind of focusing on a little bit of balance. And the second P is perception. So I want you to notice which side you have better balance standing on. You could put your hands at your hips. You could put your hands on your belly. You can put your hands in the air, okay? But I think whatever's natural and feels best to you is what you should do for today's class. And now with the second P being perception, notice, do you lean one side when you lift the leg up? Do you lean the other side? We just want to gain that greater awareness of our body. And by having that awareness of what our body is doing, we then have a choice to change that pattern or just ignore and let our body do what our body does. Our bodies are pretty amazing. Awesome stuff. Now notice when you lift your knee high, if the standing leg, if you lock the knee or if you keep it a little bit bent. Just notice, just gaining some information. Awesome stuff. So the third P of posture police is prana. Because we operate out of a yoga studio, I really want everyone to breathe. So prana to me means breathe. So let's transition into what I call a hula hoop. Open up our feet shoulder width apart, and let's just rotate in whatever direction of our hips that our body is telling us. We're going to go in both directions, but notice which way you chose to go first. Try to keep your knees bent while you challenge the movement. You definitely want to feel a bit of a stretch. Maybe you feel it in the front of the hips over here. Maybe you feel it on one side, but not the other. Maybe you feel it in your lower back a little bit. Maybe you feel it in your knee or your ankle. Those are all fairly common places to feel this stuff. Now's a good time to go in the other direction now. And now you'll notice, oh wow, my body naturally and intuitively chose the easiest direction. It's kind of the weird thing that us amazing humans do. So this is like our little warm-up for class, even though we'll do this throughout the class. So for the few new people that we have in class, this is intended to be a fairly balanced class. So we're going to be doing a little bit in our hips, a little bit in our lower back, a little bit in our neck and our shoulders. So it's a perfect first-time class. Awesome stuff. We'll do this for 3, 2, 1. And the last of kind of the transition moves we're going to do right now, which you guys might need to separate a little bit. We're going to do a Tai Chi twist. So if you give each other a little high five, it's okay. Just don't hurt each other. So I like to say there's 2 different versions of a Tai Chi twist. The first version is when we pivot the other foot. So it's like, let me show you, let me tilt the camera down so you get what I'm talking about. So as I do this, I pivot, and then I pivot. That's one of the ways. The next way is to keep our feet flat on the ground, and it becomes more of a lower back and more of a spine and hip twist. So that's a lot more straining on the lower back. I actually recommend that you do both throughout the times that we do these Tai Chi twists. But let's do this for 3, 2, 1. And if you have your stick, this is when we're going to start using it. I call this a corrective cane. And if you have a chair, you can use your chair as well. So if you're using your chair, then we're going to hold on with our left hand today. And if you're using your stick, you can use your left hand as well. So we want to make sure there's a little bit of clearance behind us because we're going to be doing this movement. So watch for the first time if you've never done this. But we're going to lift our left knee as high as possible. Then we're going to keep the knee bent as we kick back. So I want to make sure no one kicks whatever's behind them. But we're going to, yeah, this is a really good exercise. It's called a knee glute, where we're lifting our knee as high as possible, keeping the knee bent as we kick back. You might feel this as an ache in the lower back. It's quite common to feel a cramp in the back of our leg. And everything we do in this class can serve our body as a whole and can serve how you do all of our other yoga classes. It all incorporates. So let's pause. We're going to pause. We'll do a little hip wiggle. We'll keep holding on to it, but do a little hip wiggle. Notice the changes already. Maybe you realize that you already feel something different, but you can't describe what that is. Awesome. We're going to do 3 more, and these 3 that we want to do them really slowly and make sure that the swinging knee stays bent. So lifting the knee as high as possible. Slowly keep the knee bent as we kick back. You might even feel it more in the lower back. 2 more really slowly. And last one here. Awesome stuff. And I'll never say no to a hip wiggle. So we can always do a few of them. And let's switch the hands up. So now we're holding on with our right hand. And we're just doing the other side. Lifting the right knee as high as possible. keeping the knee bent as we kick back. Beautiful. Notice right away how it feels different from one side to the other. And notice if you're breathing or if you're holding your breath. In this class, there's no rules on how to breathe. Just breathe. Unless I instruct you and we go do a breathing exercise together, which is a possibility. So we'll do 2 more before we pause. Excellent. We'll do some hip wiggles. Just wiggling out the hips, noticing one layer at a time the changes that are happening in our body already this quickly. Give me a little thumbs up if you're noticing some changes from the first hip wiggle. Yeah, it's little baby changes. But when we tie it all together, it becomes permanent growth within our body. Awesome. So we're going to do 3 more really slowly. Lifting the knee as high as possible, keeping the knee bent as we kick back. And the movement is really important, but our mind's awareness of how our body feels is even more important. Beautiful stuff. So we're just going to put our stick or chair to the side just for a little bit. And we're going to do one little set of squats here. We're going to do 6 squats. Okay? And I don't want you to go, this isn't about going all the way down. What's really important is on the way up, we squeeze our booty. So we're looking to stick our butt back. I welcome you to lift your toes up. Lifting your toes up keeps your weight back. Okay, so we're lifting our toes up, our feet are shoulder width apart, and all we're going to do is keep on sticking our butt back as we go down and squeeze our butt as we come up. And that's the main purpose. We're looking to use the last exercise of activating our glutes to squeeze our glutes all the way up. Awesome. And we're going to do 3 more, squeezing our butt 25,000 times harder. Even though it's physically impossible, we're going to do the best we can. Beautiful. That's all for that set. So now, and for you guys at home, you guys both actually can use the same chair for this exercise that we're going to do, but we're going to be using the back of the chair. I think you guys can use the same one. So we're doing a little hamstring stretch. And we're going to grab onto the chair just like this, about 2 to 3 feet behind. I think you guys might be able to use the same chair. From here, we're going to focus on stretching the back of our leg over here. So we want to lift our right foot over our left and cross it over. So that basically, the right foot crosses over the left and the pinky side of our feet is touching. Awesome. Then our goal is to keep our feet on the ground. But if we lift up, that just means that our hamstrings and our legs are a little bit tight. Super common. We're going to bend our knees, stick our butt back, lean forward, and lift our chest up. So I know if anyone has, this might strain your spine a little bit, but it'll be the right kind of strain. But if you feel any pain, I urge you not to push past this. And we're all going to take a deep breath here and notice the goal is to feel it in the back of the legs. If you're not feeling it in the back of the legs, bend your knees, stick your butt back even more, and lift your chest up. And notice if you're breathing or you're holding your breath. Or if you just started breathing when I reminded you. And let's all take a deep breath in. And if your body says yes, maybe put your hips back a little further. Maybe lift your chest up a little more. And everyone has a limit, but if this is your first class, respect your body's limit. One last deep breath in, butt back, chest up, and let's smile. Even if you don't want to smile, smile for 3, 2, 1. And we're going to slowly come up to stand. And normally we go right into the other side, but let's do a little hip wiggle. Maybe you'll notice the changes. The hamstring muscles go all the way from our knee to up where our hip is. So they do work within our hip as well. Beautiful stuff. So we're going to switch to the other side. Keeping our right foot on the ground. I think that's what we did. I'm a little confused now. Yeah, right foot on the ground, left foot lifting, crossing it over so that the pinky side of our foots are basically touching. And the goal is to keep our feet planted on the ground. Bend our knees, stick our butt back, lean forward, and lift your chest up. We are all different from left to right. Deep breath in, and notice how it feels different from one side to the other. Maybe bend your knees a little bit further. Maybe stick your butt out a little more. Maybe lift your chest up a little bit more. Awesome. Sometimes we feel this side a little bit more in our calf. Let's keep breathing. Another deep breath in. And stick your butt back. Lift your chest up. Awesome. I know it's a little bit uncomfortable, but that's how this was kind of designed. That's why we got to prepare ourselves with the ache, soreness, stretch, tightness stuff. And one last deep breath in. And if your body's saying yes, go a little bit deeper. And let's smile. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Slowly come up to stand. And let's do a little Tai Chi twist. Awesome. You guys are doing great. And we are going to grab our corrective cane or broomsticks once again. And this is where the concept of perception, gaining that greater awareness, is so important. We really want to focus on listening to our body. So let's hold on with our left hand, lifting our left knee, same exact exercise. Left knee as high as possible, keeping the knee bent as you kick back. Maybe you'll notice yourself kicking further back. Maybe you'll notice more of an ache in the lower back, but less tightness. And especially, yeah, maybe it's harder to balance now that you've actually loosened some of the muscles. This is not an easy one to balance on. We're working ourselves up to this. And let's do 4 more. 4. And actually pause. A little trick is if you keep your standing knee slightly bent, that will make sure that you use all of that leg, the standing leg muscles, to help yourself stay upright. 3 more. Knee high, keep the knee bent as you kick back. Awesome, and last one here. And just notice how it felt different from the first round. Maybe it's a little easier, maybe you notice more, maybe it feels worse. That's a possibility. I hope everyone feels better after every exercise, but we're human. That's not always realistic. So let's shift and switch sides. So now we're going to hold on with our right hand and lifting the right knee as high as possible, keeping the knee bent as we kick back. And maybe if you felt that cramp in the hamstring earlier, after doing our hamstring stretch, you don't feel that cramp anymore. Awesome. I love what I'm seeing on the screen over there. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing stuff. And let's just do a little hip wiggle. We're going to do a couple exercises for our shoulders and our chest and our upper back, and then we're going to grab a seat for a little bit. So we only have 3 more exercises before we grab a seat. Awesome. So let's come to just a stable standing position. Yoga might call this mountain pose. And the difference between yoga and posture police, more than anything, is with posture police, we want to keep our feet shoulder width apart, not hip width. Yoga traditionally is like, let's keep our feet hip width apart, sometimes even closer. So keeping our feet shoulder width apart, let's lift our shoulder blades all the way up and then roll them back and down. Just one big roll of our shoulders. Now open up your thumbs so that your thumbs point outward and your palms are facing forward. And we're going to do a specific kind of lifting our shoulder blades all the way up and then just releasing. We just want to release. Just let our bodies completely release. Now we're going to inhale while we lift our shoulder blades up. And we're just going to let go. I like to say it's like our arms are like limp noodles. I call it the sniff. So we're inhaling, but we're not really thinking about letting go. So it's and we're really just trying to simply let go of our shoulders. We hold a lot of our tension and stress in our neck and shoulders. So we're going to pause. Let's do one little Tai Chi. Let's do a few Tai Chi twists. Get all of this blood flow flowing into our shoulders. Pretty much everyone I've ever had as a client, whether it's massage, whether it's exercise, we hold our stress here, right here. So let's come to a stop in 3, 2, 1. And let's do the sniffs again. I call this the sniff. It's a sniff because it tells you what we're doing. We're just inhaling rapidly and just letting go. We want to just fully let our arms go like limp noodles. Awesome. And let's do 10 more. Beautiful stuff. Maybe you feel, the interesting part about that one is the first time you do it, it always feels weird. It's always uncomfortable. But if you ever have a headache, if you ever have a lot of stress and feel that tension in your neck and shoulders, that's the perfect exercise. So we're going to move right into our monkey flies. This is a weird name, but it's an awesome exercise. Keeping our feet shoulder width apart, we're going to bend our knees, stick our butt back, lift our chest up a little bit. We want to put the back of our hands together. And you guys, you guys don't want to slap each other, because I know what we're going to do. Watch me real quick. We're going to, I know it's possible in the small quarters that you guys are in. So our goal here is to open up and rotate our arms backwards. So we're starting with our palms facing away from each other and back of our hands together. We want to end with our palms facing up. The other thing we want to consider is we want to keep our hands level with our shoulders. So I urge you to look to the side and look at your hand. Does your hand look level? Does your hand look level? You guys are doing them in the same room. You guys can even help each other. You can help each other stay level. Awesome. And I call this a monkey fly because it's the movement of a reverse fly. And with our shoulder rotation, it works our rotator cuff muscles and it makes our shoulders as mobile as a monkey. We're going to do 3 more. 3, 2, 1. And just do a few sniffs. Just 3 or 4. Just feeling where maybe you already feel some soreness, some tension in the chest, in the shoulders, in the neck. Super normal. Beautiful stuff. Our last exercise before we sit down is we're just going to do a little standing neck stretch. So we want to put our fingers on our sternum, on the bone in the center of our chest. We're going to lift our chest up so we're as straight as possible. We want to be looking straight ahead, and then we're just going to drop our left ear to our left shoulder. And now that you're as far as you feel is right, maybe go 1, 2, 3% further. Give yourself a tiny little push. Feel that stretch on the right side. And let's now switch to the other side. We're just going to go back and forth. If you've done multiple posture police classes, feel free to do any variation of this that you wish. I loved what you were doing, Norit. That's why I had to say that. Good job. And we're just going to go back and forth every 3 to 5 seconds, just feeling the stretch on each side. And notice maybe one side needs it more than the other side. Maybe one side is a lot more tight. And sometimes if you're like, that's uncomfortable, that might mean that we need it more. So sometimes we want to hang out where it's uncomfortable a little bit more. So we're going to do this. You pick the side that you want to do more, and we're going to do this for 10, 9, feel free to go back and forth to both sides, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome stuff. I count slowly on purpose. So now's the time. We're going to do some more of those neck stretches and shoulder stretches and exercises, but we're going to grab a seat right now. And let's notice. I felt today the right side of my neck was tighter. Raise your hand if your right side felt tighter. Okay. Raise your hand if your left side felt tighter. Raise both hands if you have no idea. Okay, good. All right. So we're going to come away from the back of our chair and lift our chest up. So we're sitting as upright as possible. Now we're going to drop our chin to our chest. And if this is your first time doing this, watch me. You're welcome to watch me if this is your first time. But we're going to drop our chin to our chest and then go chin to shoulder. I call these our neck smiles, or our chin smiles. So we're making a little smiley face movement. And we just want to kind of listen to our body. Maybe go 1% past our comfort zone. And maybe you'll notice one side has more resistance. One side is a little tighter. Maybe you're feeling some little crick cracks as you do this. And we'll do this 2 more on each side, in each direction. Awesome. And when you're ready, let's put our fingers on our sternum. We're going to lift our chest up. We want to sit as straight as possible. Now we're just going to do some normal, where we want to keep our gaze and our eyes and our eyesight level, and we just want to twist from side to side. Beautiful. And now let's pull our elbows back a little bit. Let's put our hands on our thighs, pull our elbows back a little bit, and squeeze your shoulder blades together. And we're going to do 3 more on each side. Maybe the areas that you were tight before change. Awesome stuff. Excuse me. Nori, I know you saw that. All right. So we're just going to do 1 set of seated sniffs now. So as a reminder, the goal of this sniff is to not even think about the exhale. If you're breathing, you want to almost let your body breathe out on its own. So we're going to do about 15 here. Beautiful stuff. And just for a little bit, we want to just sit still and as relaxed as possible. If it means you want to slouch forward a little bit, you can slouch forward a little bit. If you want to lean back, lean back. But I want you to just listen to how your body feels right now. Maybe tilt your head side to side. Maybe twist your neck from side to side. And I just want you to try to listen. Maybe you feel sore. Maybe you feel a stretch just by sitting here. And let's come to no movement right now. We're going to come to the stillness, I should say. Now let's lift our chest up again. Come forward away from the back of our chair. We're going to put our hands, yoga would call this cactus arms. I call this don't write me a posture citation position. And we're going to do our seated version of a posture police cat-cow, where we drop our chin to our chest, bring our elbows and pinkies to touch, and round our back. And then we reverse it. looking up, lifting our chests up, squeezing our shoulder blades together, making sure to breathe this entire time. Awesome. So let's pause because I'm going to give you guys the extra challenge. So the thing that I know everyone who's been coming to Posture Police, you know this little trick. But the trick of this is if we want to get the most out of this, and this is not easy. Like if this was easy, then I wouldn't have to pause to tell you guys about it. But the goal is as we go back, we want to keep our elbows in front of our hands. It's super challenging in our shoulders. So you respect your limit at any time while doing this. So let me show you. So we're going to do it the exact same way, going down, dropping our chin to our chest, looking down, rounding our back, and then it's about, yeah, it's really hard. It's not easy. Excellent stuff. We're going to do 3 more. 2. Last one here. Beautiful. Now we're going to just put our hands on our thighs, noticing how even with that's a doozy because that combines neck, shoulders, rotator cuff muscles. We're just going to rest here for a moment. One big raise of our shoulder blades, and then let them fall. Maybe you notice one side pulling down a little bit more, one side being tighter more than the other. I just want you to notice. Deep breath in and deep breath out. We're going to do 2 standing exercises before we sit back down. So we're going to come up to stand. Let's do a hip wiggle. That is not the standing exercise I was talking about. So hip wiggles, just notice how you're feeling so far. I always have tightness in this side, this hip. So I've been working on this for years, and it gets better and better and better. But this side is still tighter than the other. All right. So now this is the exercise, one of the 2. So we're going to do wide knee highs now. So we're going to go really wide with the knee high and then slowly drop it down. It will challenge your hips if you have any lower back pain, if you have your hips feel unstable or you get sciatica ever. This might challenge some of the muscles that are not easy to use. Lifting it high and wide and slowly coming down. Slower than you think. If you can slow it down each time, then you're being successful. I know how hard this is. It might not be hard to lift our knee up, but it's hard to make it slowly come down. We're retraining the muscles in our hips. Awesome stuff. We're going to do 1 more on each side. And just to cool down from that one, let's do the simple knee highs, just forward. And we'll do 2 more on each side. Awesome. And no one ever said no to a hip wiggle. Maybe just noticing how each exercise changes the hip wiggle a little bit. Beautiful stuff. And the last exercise before we sit down is we're going to do one more set of squats. Okay? The difference with this set of squats is I know some of you did it before if you're veterans, but now we're incorporating this. This is going to help challenge our spine a little bit. This activates some of the muscles in our spine. So we want to keep our hands like this. So we want them about a foot in front of our face. And we want to bend our elbows, keeping our elbows right in front of the shoulders. And some of us tend to go wide. We want to bring them in. So it's not easy, and there's no perfection. I'm not expecting perfection if this is your first class. Then, let me take a step back and tilt this down. I'm still figuring out how to make the camera the perfect angle. All right. So again, feet shoulder width apart. Before we even bend our knees, we want to stick our butt back a good amount. I welcome you to lift your toes up. That's a good little trick to keep our weight back. Now from here, we want to lift our chest up a little bit. Butt back, keeping the chest upright, squeezing our butt. So if you know you're doing, if you watch me, let's watch this one for me to do it. Sometimes we go like this and we lean forward. We're not getting the right movement because we're letting our spine bend. So the goal is to keep our hands level here, staring straight ahead, squeeze our butt. And it'll challenge your spine as well. It's not easy, especially if this is your first class. You guys are looking amazing. Just remember to squeeze your butt on the way up. This is reprogramming the muscles in our hips, the muscles in our legs, and even our spine. So let's pause after this one, and let's just take a little Tai Chi twist break. Awesome stuff. 3, 2, 1. And let's get back to it. We're going to do 5 more just like that. What we did before with the squats. And we want to, and let's remember to bring our elbows in just a little bit. You might feel a little stretch in the shoulders, but that's normal. Butt back, squeeze your butt 20,000 times harder. 4, 3. If you feel any pain in the knee, do not go I want you to not go as far down. 2, 1. Beautiful, beautiful. Awesome stuff. So now we're going to grab a seat on our chair again. And we're going to cross one of our legs over the other. So we're going to, like this is a seated version of a figure 4. So cross the leg so that, and you listen to your body. I want your intuition to tell you which leg to do first. So we're putting the ankle just above the knee. We want to put our hands on our thigh. And actually, before even saying this, come away from the back of your chair real quickly. We want to put our hands on our thigh, not our knee, not our shin. And if you ever feel any discomfort in the knee, or if your body's telling you to do so, I urge you to flex your foot like this. It's optional. You don't have to, it's not mandatory at all. But we're going to give ourselves a little respectful push down. So we're pushing our thigh down. The key word is respectful. You don't want to be in like power it down like that. That's too much. We want to be respectful and give ourselves a bit of a stretch. Take a deep breath in and maybe lift your chest up to straighten your spine a little more and continue to push down. And this is foreign if you've never done this class, but we're now going to prepare to lift our hands up, but continue to push our knee down with our leg and our thigh muscles. We're going to put our hands up here, lifting our chest up. I know this is where the work really happens. We feel that hip, we feel that butt area. Awesome. And now let's put our fingers on our sternum again, in the middle of our chest. And now while keeping our chest up, we're going to start to lean forward. Now you could put your hands on your shin. Deep breath in. I urge you, as you bend forward, to try to keep your chest up. It might feel a little weird, and we should. The optimal place to feel this is right around in here. But many of us will feel it in our lower back, in our groin, in our leg. There's a lot of common places to feel it. And we're all going to take a big, deep breath in. And if our body is saying yes, let's go a notch deeper. Another big, deep breath in. And if your body still says yes and you want to challenge yourself, the goal is not to touch the ground. The goal is to get a good, deep stretch while keeping your spine as straight as possible. So if you end up bending your spine a little bit to get a deeper stretch, that's probably worth it. But if you're bending your spine a lot, that's probably not worth it. So there's that perfect middle ground that only we know. One more deep breath in. And let's enjoy this for 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to hug our knee to our chest. It's oftentimes best if we use our opposite arm as the main one that we grab. So if I'm using my right knee, then I'm going to use my left arm mostly. But I urge you to hug your knee to your chest, not bring your chest to your knee. And deep breath in. And this is kind of like a relief compared to the other one. The other one gets a little uncomfortable. This is usually enjoyable. Deep breath in. And enjoy this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome stuff. We're going to switch to the other side. And right away, you might notice which side is tighter. I just want you to notate that, because the goal of Posture Police more than anything is to help fix our muscular imbalances and reprogram our body. But it works with yoga. So everything that you learn in this class, you can apply whether when you're doing beginner yoga, yin yoga, or even when you're sitting at your desk or kitchen table, or even driving your car, or just working from school remotely. So we want to put our hands again on our thigh, not our knee, not our shin. If you flexed the foot last time, flex this foot this time. And we're going to push down once again. That respectful stretch. Maybe you'll notice the sensation different. And your body, you know better than I do. Your body, I can never tell you how far to push. But you know, once you keep on giving yourself that extra 1%, the extra 2%, you'll know if it's too far. Now lift our chest up while we continue to push down. And let's prepare to release our hands. So we're continuing to push down with our leg and our thigh muscles. Putting our hands in don't write me a posture citation position. Deep breath in. And keeping our chest upright as best as reasonably possible as we lean forward. So if we're leaning forward, there's always going to be a little bit of a round in our back. That's understandable. But we do want to fight that. So we want to keep lifting our chest upright as we lean forward. Deep breath in. And if your body says yes, let's go a notch deeper. Maybe you notice while doing this that you feel it differently from your left to your right. Notice if you've been holding your breath when I didn't say anything. And let's all take a deep breath in. And if your body says yes or just doesn't say no, go a little bit deeper. I love what you did there, Evelyn. That was awesome because you know how to experiment with your body. You drop. Evelyn I have to notate that. I want to call her out for something amazing. She just dropped her chin to her chest and let the weight, and just felt how the weight felt on her body. I saw that. That was amazing. That was her mastering her body. One last deep breath in. And again, if our body still says yes, keep on going deeper. Amazing. And enjoy this for 3, 2, 1. And let's hug our knee into our chest again. Sometimes I say, hug your knee into your chest like it's a real important part of your body. So many people neglect their knees in their life. It's crazy to me. So I want to make sure that we hug our knee and really appreciate our knees. You can even kiss your knee. It's right there. I wanted to see you do that, Norit. Deep breath in, and we'll enjoy this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. And we're just going to slowly stand up to do a couple little hip wiggles, Tai Chi twist. And then we're going to sit back down just for a few more minutes. So I just want to get that movement going in our body. You can do either hip wiggle, Tai Chi twist, hula hoop, or all of the above. I personally am feeling hula hoop while I see most of you guys are feeling Tai Chi twist. There's nothing wrong with that. Listen to your body. Just remember, if you're doing the hula hoop, you do want to stay balanced on both sides. So if you're going to do one direction, do the other direction. I know One Direction was such a big band. Maybe someone's going to start a band called The Other Direction. That was a bad joke. All right. So I just wanted to get that blood pumping through there again. And we're just going to grab a seat one last time. So yeah, grab a seat real quick for just 2 more minutes. We're just going to do 2 more little neck exercises. So we're going to interlock our fingers. We're going to put our hands in the back of our head, on the back of our head. You do want to come away from the back of your chair. So most of this class is done away from the back of the chair, but I know I get stuck leaning back, so I got to tell you guys. So our goal here, we're going to do this pretty deliberate neck stretch. Our goal is to keep our elbows in close to our forehead. That's one of our main goals. The other goal is to lead with your eyes. So we want to look before we move. So if this is your first time doing this, just watch me on the first sequence, and then you pick up on the second. So I'm looking up to the ceiling, lifting elbows up, keeping the elbows in, lifting my chin, chest, gaze up. So we're basically stretching the front while tensing up the back. Now I transition and I start looking down towards the ground, keeping the elbows in, bringing my chin to my chest and keeping my chest upright. So it's now stretching the back of the neck. And we're just going to slowly go back and forth, looking in front of your elbows the whole time. So when you're looking up, you want to look up in front of your elbows to the ceiling. And then when you're going down, you want to look down at the ground before your elbows pull down. And the slower the better for this one. And if anything feels like there's pain, or you get dizzy, or you feel pinching, it's okay to stop. Those are actually, it's quite common to get dizzy doing this. That's why I like doing this seated. And just try to keep your elbows in while you're doing it. You guys are doing amazing. And we're going to be doing one more in each direction. Amazing stuff. And let's just move our head, neck in just kind of fluidly. Just move it around as you see fit. Maybe you want to go side to side. Just listen to your body. Maybe you want to drop your chin to your chest and do the chin smiles again. Maybe you just want to twist from side to side. We just want a little bit of movement in there. And we're all going to come to stand slowly, unless you're dizzy. Then you can stay seated for a little while longer. And we are going to close out this class, other than doing a set of monkey flies here, which is going to tie it all together. Let's open up our feet shoulder width apart, bend our knees, stick our butt back, lift our chest up. Back of the hands together as we come back and rotate. So let's try to keep our hands level with our shoulders. I'm speaking to more than one person when I say that. So I see two people going low and one person going high. So if you think that's you, then I'm probably talking to you. You guys are doing awesome. And we'll do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll just do a Tai Chi twist before we do our true final exercise and really close out this class in the best way possible. Michelle, that's perfect. I welcome you to do that. You know how to do that one really well. I'm sure the next class will have it in for sure, but you got it. All right, so let's slowly come to a close. Now, opening up our feet shoulder width apart. If you ever have lower back pain, this is the perfect answer. So we're going to bend our knees, stick our butt back, lift our chest up. So the goal here is to feel a little bit of an ache in the lower back. If you're not feeling that ache in the lower back, then butt back more, chest up more. If you're feeling that ache, then you're good to go. From here, we want to keep our knees bent as we squeeze our butt forward, then suck our belly button in, then squeeze our butt some more. I know it's excessive. All right, so we're going to do 2 more just like that. And on the last one, I have something special for you because the few first timers. Butt back, chest up, knees bent. Feel that ache in the lower back. Then squeeze your butt forward, suck your belly button in, squeeze your butt some more. This is what I call the pelvic Band-Aid. You can release. Now on this last one, I want you to hold the squeeze until I tell you to stop. Knees bent, butt back, chest up. Keep the knees bent, squeeze the butt forward, suck the belly button in, squeeze your butt some more. And now we're going to hold this squeeze and let's walk around. We look, I like to say, I call it the duck walk. So I know it feels foolish, but I promise it's amazing. Amazing stuff. I have a couple announcements to make, and then I want to hear, especially from Christian, Mary, Harper, and Mary Jo. I want to really hear how you guys are doing. But let me tell you guys of a few announcements that we do have. So every Friday, our schedule has recently shifted. So we were doing our sunset yoga hike every Friday at 6:30. That is now a virtual class where our yoga teachers in training are going to be doing a virtual slow flow class. So if you're able to check that out, they're awesome. And I'm so excited that they're doing that. And we're just excited that they get to share how they've learned about yoga with everyone in their virtual classes. Then on September 7th, it's a Monday. This is open to all people, even if you're not a member. We have Mindful Monday, which is at 3:33, and that's more of a conversation. But yeah, I want to hear how you're feeling, Harper. Let me unmute you. How are you feeling?
Good. I'm not a social person. She's being shy.
How about you, Kristen?
Good. Yep.
Did you feel any pain or soreness or changes happen through the class?
Just like lower back. I wouldn't say pain, but just like the stretching and stuff, it makes you more aware of those muscles. And then like you were talking about the stress and everything being up in the shoulders, like absolutely. So I love that. The snap, or what'd you call it? Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you experienced that. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining. I'm a huge believer that tying this class in, like whether it's once a week or every other week, and doing beginner yoga and yin is like, whichever way you want to take it, they're like 1-2 punches together. This will help. Yeah, I love incorporating this and yin and this or beginner. So I'm actually thinking about taking the beginner class that starts in 25 minutes. So, but thank you.
We'll call it a night, but you have fun.
Sure. Absolutely. You guys enjoy your evening, and I'm so glad you guys joined me.
Thank you so much.
How are you feeling, Mary Jo?
Doing good. It was awesome. I liked it.
Was it what you expected?
I had no idea what to expect. Zero.
I love that. That's what I look for. Cool. And are you noticing changes in your body? Are you feeling pain or aches or soreness or anything?
Well, the one thing I felt, I have my right knee, I've injured it many times. So when I was doing that stretch on the chair, like at the end of the right knee being crossed, I really felt it, but I guess it was just stretched, like it feels okay now. But that was mostly like after I was done stretching it. So I'm thinking that maybe some good things are happening in there.
I think that outlook and that way of looking at it is amazing. And I think you made it a good decision to become more aware of it. So next time you do a class and you feel that, regardless of the kind of class, just put your awareness there and make sure that it doesn't get worse.
All righty.
I love that. So I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Have a balanced night.
Okay, you too.
How are you doing, Michelle?
Good. I loved it as always. I got my crackle pops and all that good stuff. So I enjoyed it as always.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining.
You always make me laugh.
The whole thing is I make myself laugh more than anything. I just don't actually laugh. I'm just like, I entertain myself very well. But thank you for giving me the approval that I make you laugh. How are you feeling, Nancy?
Good. I moved to a room with more internet.
Okay.
I feel good. It's always great to stretch everything out.
Beautiful. And well, thank you for joining. And yeah, I'm excited to take, I think I'm going to be taking the class Friday. It's my birthday, so maybe I won't, but I think I'll be taking it.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's a good class.
Yeah, I want to take it. I think.
Yeah, you should. It's very good.
Yeah, I'm excited to take it. But thank you.
Yeah,
for
Matthew.
joining.
I'm on the website now, and all the virtual classes are there, including the Friday one. But for
So the website, it's there, but the app is not working.
On the app, and there's nothing on Friday in the app. So just FYI.
Thank you. So it's really an app problem more than our schedule. Okay.
Yep,
Cool.
and
We just got to get them to fix it the right way.
Yep, I went to the website and everything's there like normal.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate the specificity there. Norit, how you doing?
Doing good. Thank you very much. Stretched out. There was one thing. I don't know if it was the smiles from chin to chin or whatever. But
Around here?
What's that?
Do you feel it around there?
It was crazy when I went like this or whatever. Immediate pain right here. But then I went the other direction. Of course, it wasn't there. But then I went back and it was like right here. It's great.
That sounds like a trigger point. That's a muscular kind of situation that refers pain.
Okay. Oh. All right.
But yeah, we could talk about that. Let's pay attention to that next class. It's super.
Yeah, it was just super like, whoa, what is that?
Well, it happens and it's not uncommon. I wouldn't be too worried about it. It's just not comfortable. It's not enjoyable.
It was weird. But
how are you doing, Evelyn?
My experience.
Sorry, what were you were seeing? What did you say, Nori?
Oh, I just wanted to show you the experience. I mean, being perceptive. So.
I appreciate it. How are you feeling, Evelyn?
I just want to make sure that I'm so normal.
Yeah, you're normal. We're all screwed up. So but I actually have something similar going on where it shoots down a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll be observant next class though. That'll be interesting.
For sure. Awesome. And
thank you.
Evelyn, you there? Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, I came and left, but anyway. Yeah, it was good. I wanted to share that I was having, maybe because I walked a little bit more today than I normally do, and this left hip part was really tight. And so the wiggles today really did quite a number. It released everything, so I'm happy about that. Normally I just flow through everything, but today I really needed, it was really right here.
Beautiful.
Tight. So thank you for that. And the neck. That's why I drew my neck, because I felt such a relief today. I don't know. I had a hard last week was really busy. Last week was really busy. Plus I had a relative who was in the hospital, but fortunately she's home. She was on COVID, she was a COVID young person. But she made it home. So it was a lot of stress. That's all. But I really felt the neck release today. Honestly, it was like normally I just, kind of flow through it. But today it really was good. And then this thing on the hip was just, I couldn't believe how tight it was.
Well, I'm so glad you worked through it. I saw you were really intuitive with your body today. So I love that. And keep up the good work.
Thank you. Take care, guys. Have a good night. Bye, Michelle.
Have a great night.
Bye. Good night.